Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. Tarek Elgindi with the Mr. Olympia. Today, we have the Arnold Classic champion in the Classic Physique category. He's the runner-up at the Mr. Olympia 2024. He actually had some votes where judges believed he was the best competitor on stage. He is the one and only Mike Summerfeld. How are you, Mike?
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm amazing. Thank you. Feeling great. How about you?
Doing good. Thank you so much. Also joining us, my co-host of Primetime Muscle and Olympia TV, the legend himself, Chris Cormier. He is the 1993 Mr. USA, four-time Ironman champion, considered to be one of the greatest bodybuilders of all times. Chris, how are you?
Good. How you doing? Thanks for having me. How's it
Absolutely.
going, Big Mike?
Good, sir. I'm missing you here in Marbella.
I know, man. Damn. We gotta hang. I gotta get out there, man, next time.
Oh, yeah. Let me know.
Yes.
Oh, Chris was at FIBO just recently, right, Chris?
Yeah. I was at FIBO. Hey, so are you living out there? Or you just have like a place there to train and prepare?
No, honestly, I don't have a home since 3.5 years, so we're constantly traveling. We just thought that Marbella is a great place to stay and to prep. As you know, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful place, so we're staying here. And then next week, we're heading over to Romania to a big expo in Bucharest, and from there, straight to Vegas.
Wow.
Well,
So
very
how long? Go ahead. How long you understand Vegas?
4.5 weeks.
1.5 weeks. Okay. Okay. I hope to see you there then.
Sure. Send me a message.
Yeah. Okay.
um, Well, I'm going to be in Romania. I'm going to be head judging the event in Romania. So I'll see you there, Mike.
Great.
Um, I talked to Samson. Maybe we're going to catch you guys working out, filming you guys with Olympia TV. Would that be okay?
Sure. Of course.
So, Mike Summerfeld, I'm going to tell you something. In the 2024 Mr. Olympia, um, I had a chance to judge you at the Mr. Olympia. And when you came in for your individual posing, there's not one judge that was not overly impressed with what you brought on stage. And there wasn't any doubt that you were going to be on the first call out and you could potentially be fighting for the title. It was bar none your best performance to date. We had judged you before. You've always been a great competitor. But in the 2024 Mr. Olympia, you looked spectacular, flawless. And like I said in the beginning of the live, some judges believed that you were better than Chris Bumstead on that day. That was the first time Chris Bumstead did not win unanimously. What happened in 2024? What changed that we saw the best Mike Summerfeld?
Many different things. But when I look back now, everything was worth it. It was a great journey. After competing at the 23 Mr. Olympia, we decided that we need to change something because we went down from fifth place down to eighth. And then the IFBB Pro League changed the rules. So we had some more pounds to gain. So we skipped the Arnold's and we tried to gain as much muscle as possible. What we did, I trained twice a day. We increased my calories as never before, and I spent all the time in Dubai. So what I did was essentially sleeping, eating, and training. I was able to eat the best quality foods. Bino's Gym, they cooked my food daily fresh. Best salmon, best chickens, best beefs. I had such a good time. The gym is amazing, and this is what I did for like 4.5 months. And we gained like 70 pounds. And we were able to bring 7 kilos, which is like 15, 16 pounds from Olympia 23 to Olympia 24 in a better condition.
Well,
Hold on. You gained 70 pounds?
seven. Was that 1-7 or 7-0?
7-0.
Oh shit!
So you gained 70 pounds, and I'm assuming that's quality weight, yes? Right? 'Cause
I wish. 70 pounds of quality muscle? Nah.
no, not quality
No,
muscle, but um, if you gain 70 pounds, then I'm assuming for you to come back, right? It must have been a very hard journey.
Honestly, I didn't feel comfortable being that heavy. I needed to buy myself a sleeping mask. Cardio was horrible, walking or running on the treadmill at 240, 245 pounds, which is quite a lot for me. I was never that heavy. It's like 124, 122 kilos. So I felt quite uncomfortable. But we dieted long enough and we calculated the days correctly. So we were able to show up at the Olympia in a good condition with 15 pounds more muscle.
but that's why I thought you were going to open. Is when I saw you so heavy, I was like, okay, so he's going to open. You're like, no, I'm not going to open. I'm like, well, shit, you got a lot of work to do.
He's just fat.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you say you were in Dubai eating the best kind of food, you mean you were pretty much eating at will whatever you wanted. Do you think that kind of decompressed your physique? It kind of opened the gates. All your sensors are now, just before you were limiting yourself, and right now that you're eating everything, now your physique is changing. Your body is gaining muscle, obviously a little bit of fat, water. So you think that was the thing that did it for you?
I did not eat any bad foods. I ate clean, 100%. Every meal was clean. The only thing I like to eat is, I guess you know what it is, pananquetas. You know what it is? These nut bars. Pananquetas. It's a Mexican or like a Brazilian Mexican kind of sweet. Like it's a nut bar in caramel. Amazing. I had that a few times, I have to tell you, but all the food was absolutely clean. We bumped it up to 4,500 calories, which is quite a lot for me. If you give me 3,200, I'm gaining already. So we really pushed it hard to gain a lot of weight.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that's interesting. Chris, I mean, what do you think of this strategy? Because his physique looked different. You saw him, you saw Mike Summerfeld before anybody, any of us in Tijuana when he won that show, right?
Right,
Looking
right.
at his physique, what do you think?
I mean, it's just, I think, the metamorphosis was, I mean, I know, I mean, because here's the thing, even in Mexico, you could tell he wasn't quite there where he wanted to be physically, because Urs was right, closer to him at that time. But, with his age, how old were you in Mexico at that time?
27 or, yeah, 27, I guess.
Yeah, so it's you're still feeling your body out at that time, and you still have a little bit of a younger bodybuilder look at that time. Uh, Great shape, but it wasn't like extraordinary like it became. So, a lot of bodybuilders go through that, you know, to go through a heavy phase like that to where then they're like, okay, then they start making choices of what direction they want to go with their physique. And I think he made a great choice to because he was the one we had him on the Menace podcast, and he was telling us, "No, I'm different now. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna come in different, and I have all the. You're telling everyone you're gonna be in the top three, if not win it. But you were very confident in what you're about to show everybody.
Well, hold on, hold on. I want to bring it back here. We're going to bring it back to a very special moment where Mike Summerfeld came out to the world and said, I am the guy. Let me see if I can share this. By the way, there's rumors now that Urs Kalaczynski went to open category because he's scared of Mike. He goes, I don't want to deal with that guy.
I have to correct you. It's not rumors, my friend. It's definitely fact that he's not competing in Classic, but it's not about me. It's just about he's too big and he doesn't want to lose the size.
He did look like a baby Marcus Rule coming
Baby
back.
Rule. Baby Rule.
Baby Rule.
Honestly, I believe that he will make great improvements and he will be an amazing athlete, especially for the open. Coming from Classic in such a setup, like tight waist, great tapers, just adding some more muscle here and there will look like magic. I'm really excited to see him.
Well, here's the moment. Mike Summerfeld got a first call out. Mike, relive this moment with us. Were you 100% sure you were getting a first call out here?
No, because the goal actually was Neil and we talked about what we're going to do. And we said, okay, let's bring something new. We need to change your look. We need to change something. We can't just do the same thing here again. Okay, let's bring it to a maximum. Let's put on some serious size, and then we can see if the judges like it. So we had no expectations. Maybe they say, we don't like the look, so maybe 18th place. Or they say, oh, wow, he improved a lot. We like that. So we had no idea, honestly.
Wow. Let's go for the moon and on a historic moment. Big Steve is going to call the first call out here.
Good music.
I can't remember that it was so long. It feels like seconds.
All right, here we go. Let's send it down to the judges. Big Steve.
Thank you, Bob. In numerical order: 5, Breon; 12, Michael; 27, Urs; 34, Jose; 40, Ramon; 46, Mike; 51, Wesley; and 58, Chris. "44, back in line."
So, Mike, hold on here. You're right here in the end at this moment. You got the first call out. You got Wesley Vissers, incredible champion, has won the Arnold Classic. You got Ramon here, has won the Arnold Classic, has been runner-up. Josema, who was a huge surprise, right? You got Chris Bumstead, 5-time champion. Breon Ansley, a 2-time champion. You got Michael the Bull on the first call out. Urs Kalaczynski and Mike Summerfeld. I'm going to say these are definitely the heavy hitters. What's going through your mind in this moment?
Right now or on stage?
On stage.
Okay, but that's funny. Tyler told us 2 days before, you know that. He said, as you step out the box, you will go back in line. You will not get a comparison. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So I was staying in line and I was like, no, Mike, don't leave the box. Don't leave the box. Don't leave the box. I thought about Neil, that I will leave the box. He will come backstage and he kicks my ass. I was just like, okay, Mike, don't move, don't move. But the moment right there was, as you get the first call out, this is like the first box you check. This is the first step going into a different game. Because now it's about hard work. The better you pose, the better you show yourself, the higher you will rank. So now it's about being precise. It's not about the judges right now. It's about you, what you deliver and what you show the judges and what you show to the crowd. So this is on you, because everybody says, yeah, it's the judges will decide. Yes, but you have to deliver, and they judge what you deliver. So now it's time to fight, and that's what I did.
Chris, you've been on a first call out at the Mr. Olympia with
Yeah.
Ronnie Coleman, Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levrone, Sean Ray. If you could give competitors one advice, you're right there in the middle of the war with the best in the world. What would be your advice to competitors?
Yeah, Tarek, I would just say, like when I made the first call out, I actually overly pressured myself to be there because I never been in the first call at the Olympia before. At the time, you're doing top 3 guys. And so if you made the first call out, that means you're in the top 3, you're in the mix. And getting ready for the show, I said, I'm going to be in the top 3 this year. I've been top 6 every year, but I never been top 3, and I thought that I belonged there. And so I said it in the Road to the Olympia video. So when I made the top 3, it was almost like I was so happy that I delivered what I said I was going to do. But at that time, I just had to get my thoughts together and be ready to execute each pose. And going against Ronnie and Flex, I just had to just execute each pose, and that was my main focus, is to execute at that time.
Yeah, well, look at this, guys. Right off the bat here, there's some movement. Look at Mike Summerfeld here, the extreme right. I mean, trust me, for us judges, it doesn't take a long time to see that somebody is absolutely on. And everybody at that judging panel knew Mike Summerfeld was going to fight for the title. It didn't take us more than 5 seconds. All of us knew.
46-5, switch.
That was a great moment.
27-33, switch. 34. Ramon and Michael, switch. All right, gentlemen.
So, Mike Summerfeld, right there. Right now, Big Steve puts you between Chris Bumstead and Ramon. What transpired at that moment?
That was the moment I was like, holy crap. First, I thought, okay, they just want to make a show out of it. Like, they just want to just switch some positions here and there. But you will see right after, I did not move a lot. Like, I was quiet in the mix in the middle all the time. And every time they switched somebody else, I was like, oh, wow, it seems that I really belong here. That was great. So this was actually step number 2. But step number 3, what comes after that, that's actually the funniest moment I've ever had in bodybuilding.
Okay, let's play that.
Give yourselves room. Don't play no games. No elbows. Front double bicep. Side chest. Back double bicep.
Chris, Dave Palumbo said I had Mike Summerfeld winning the show. Some judges judge for Mike Summerfeld to win the show. This was very close. Would you not agree?
Oh, yes. Well, that has been historically not Chris Bumstead's best body part, was the back. And then you can see, this is going to be a battle because Mike came with a better back than Chris. And, he, was in a prime position and to take the title.
What's going on here, Mike? Did that moment happen yet or not yet?
Two thoughts. First, no, not at all, because it's such an incredible moment, and maybe like 50 people in the world have experienced what I experienced right there. So that's something really special. Secondly, I look like a fucking 12-year-old version of myself right there. This is nothing. I just compare the video you show me to the videos I'm recording right now, and I can tell you, this is embarrassing. What I will bring this year to the Olympia has nothing to do with this. Nothing. We changed my look dramatically. I can see it right now. All the spots, I was like, it should be better. All the spots Tyler mentioned, all the spots Steve mentioned. I need to call Neil. I need to compare the videos. He will freak out.
We'll send you here the video. Now, we have some Ramon fans here, obviously. Prior to the Olympia last year, met Ramon at the gym, and both of you guys posed next to each other, right? Now, at that point, he was, the favorite because he had been runner-up to Chris. So a lot of people thought, well, Ramon is the guy to dethrone. But on that picture comparison that you guys took at the gym, we could already see that Mike Summerfeld was coming along. Based on what you're saying, that what you see now from 2024 and how you project your physique in 2025, you're basically telling us Ramon, Michael the Bull, Josema, Terrence Ruffin, they're fighting for second. Is that correct?
No, because as you just said right now, Ramon came in really strong as the favorite, and he ended up place number 4, unfortunately. So that means that bodybuilding is always wide open. Everybody can make a mistake. Everybody can slip here and there. So nothing is guaranteed. I know for a fact that Ruff will come super strong. He will come in a new version. I know for a fact that Ramon will never ever do the same mistake as before. I know for a fact that Josema will be shredded and inside out as never before. It's not about me. We're talking about like 25 people on stage who could potentially win the title if they bring their A game or somebody else slips. It's that close.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I'm dealing with German technology here. I'm not going to go anywhere with any controversies with this guy. Oh, my God. Well, Summer, you're good. You're good. I can't go anywhere with you. He's right on the money, Chris. Well, let's go back here and watch this historic moment where Mike Summerfeld sent a message to the world. I am maybe the guy.
Dominoes and thighs. Your favorite classic pose.
Well, Chris, I'm going to say something controversial, okay? Are you guys ready?
Yep.
The first call out of the Classic Physique, okay? We have here 1, Wesley Vissers, Michael the Bull Urs, Chris Bumstead, Mike Summerfeld, Ramon Josema, and Brian. Not to mention Terrence Ruffin was there. The first call out of the Classic Physique is the most competitive first call out of the Olympia. It's more competitive than the open bodybuilding. It's more competitive than men's physique, than bikini, than anything. it's a bloodbath. It's a nightmare. You got to be genetically gifted. You got to have amazing conditioning. You got to have everything in line to be on that first call out. I mean, if you make to that first call out of the Classic Physique at the Olympia, you must be, a Greek god. It's impossible, Chris. The Classic Physique guys are insane. Would you not agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's always been that way. The energy behind the prejudging for the classic division, I think, is very close to the open. It's like a lot of anticipation, a lot of fans clamor to the prejudging for the classic. It's amazing energy up there, and I've watched everyone closely, very closely. With me dealing with Breon Ansley, the two-time champ. That's why I've been very invested in the classic division. But it's just electric, that prejudging for these guys.
Yeah, incredible. Summerfeld, they're not moving you. They're keeping you right there between Chris Bumstead and Ramon. I can look at Chris's face going, who is this guy here next to me, between me and Ramon? Is Mike Summerfeld looking that great? Ramon, I've known him for years. He's probably wondering, is Mike Summerfeld the winner here? But look at that front double biceps. I mean, the V-taper is dramatic. This is Chris Bumstead's best pose. But if you look at the legs of Mike Summerfeld, they possibly look a little bit more impressive. And then on the back double biceps, Chris has tremendous conditioning inside. But Summerfeld has the width, right? He's wider than Chris. And this is not Ramon's best pose. Let's go into the abdominals and thighs. They're peeled, man. Look at that. And then the classic physique pose here. A lot of people ask us, well, do you guys judge that? Of course we judge that. So I love Josema's here pose. He does the Arnold Classic real good here, the Arnold Classic pose. So right here, they send you guys back. Mike, at that point, you've done well, correct?
No, that's step number 3, and that's the point I want to talk about. I mentioned that quite a lot the last few weeks because I was talking about it a little bit more often. But the moment they sent us back, I thought about, oh shit, I forgot the box. I stepped out the box, and now they're sending me back, and I did not understand that. They sent Urs and Chris back at the same. So I was just, hey Mike, backstage, and was like, uh-oh, Neil, I can guarantee that Neil is already waiting for me kicking my ass. And I come backstage, and I was like watching the floor and was like kind of disappointed that I got first call out, and now I lost the chance. I'm backstage now. I don't get any comparison anymore. I was super disappointed. And then Chris put his hand on my shoulder and he said, hey, Mike, congratulations. I was like, why? They just sent us backstage, and then it clicked. The moment right there. And I thought, wait a minute. They would never send Chris Bumstead backstage. They would never send Urs Kaliczynski backstage. That must be a sign that this is probably the top 3, and they don't need to compare us anymore. And then I was like, top 3. I need to see Neil. I need to see my wife. I need to tell them right now. So I was totally confused. I was super disappointed and sad. And then it clicked, and I was able to walk out like, hey guys, great job. Let's go back to bed and sleep.
Well, hold on. We got to talk about this one here. At this point here, you must believe that you could potentially be right there and possibly win the show. They call Urs Kaliczynski, Mike Summerfeld, and Chris Bumstead, and this is it.
Great moment.
Front double bicep. Side chest. Relax, gentlemen, get in a box, please. Everyone in a box. Chris, move a little bit.
The box.
Double bicep. Abdominals and thighs. Your favorite classic pose. Back double bicep.
So, Mike, at this point, you're kind of vibrating. You're going like, yeah, I feel good about this one. When you got that final call out at prejudging with Urs and Chris Bumstead, did you have a specific strategy like, okay, now I'm in the game. What should I do here? What was going through your mind?
The moment I step on stage, it's really hard to remember on different steps and things I do. Every time I'm stepping on stage, I'm melting together with all the passion for bodybuilding. Does it make sense? So when I'm stepping off stage, I quite don't remember what I did. But I had no strategy, and I truly believe there is no real strategy. Let's say front double biceps. Chris has amazing biceps. Urs has not so great biceps. So what can I do now? There is not a strategy. I can't change Chris' arms. I can't change Urs' arms. I can't change mine. I mean, I'm trying to pose as good as possible to show my strength and hiding my weaknesses. So that's all you can do, but just work hard, like earn it. Don't be lazy. But I was quite happy that I was in the mix. So whatever is going to happen, it's top 3.
Cormier, they're peeled. These guys, the Classic Physique guys, do not miss their conditioning. On that first call out, I mean, I got to revise the second call out. You can't tell me any of these guys are not peeled. Look at the Christmas tree. All of them have striated glutes. It's incredible the level of conditioning the Classic Physique guys bring. And the first call out is the hardest thing in bodybuilding right now. Because you got, 50 competitors, and to make it into a first call out, and this is bodybuilding, right? Let's just be honest here. This is bodybuilding. This is bodybuilding at a lower weight class where these guys are coming in peeled. This reminds me a little bit of a light heavy, right? 198, right? Light heavy at the USA's, Chris, or maybe even heavyweight. Where you would see Richard Jones, you would see Sean Ray, where you would see some guys that were, even Flex Wheeler was 217 when he was.
Yeah, and I was 224 when I won, so I was right there. The Classic look, I love this division. So
now, Mike, you seem a lot more confident here. Like you're really feeling it, correct?
Yes, I love it. I have a question for you, Tarek. Do you like, especially in the back shots, do you like squeeze glutes or more kind of pushed out?
I like squeeze glutes. I mean, I grew up, I think every judge looks at striated glutes as a sign of great conditioning. I mean, we look at, if you have striated glutes, that means you're shredded, right? And if I look at a bodybuilder that's not squeezing the glutes, I kind of go, what's going on there? So right here, we can go back to the pose of back double biceps. And so right here, one of the things that I personally love looking is the quad. So I think your posing here is excellent. It's actually superior than Urs and than Chris. I'm surprised Chris is posing like this because usually Chris creates a little bit more of an angle. I call this the Flex Wheeler angle. What does that do? That minimizes your waist, right? Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier, Dexter Jackson was that minimizes. And a lot of people think, well, but they're not seeing my quads. No, look how big your quads look on the right side. You might be compromising a little bit of the flaring quads on the left side, but look at the waist. This is a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for me.
It's the way I learned how to hit the front double bicep from Roger Robinson. That straight up and down look, I really don't understand it, but it became very popular with the guys today. And like you said, with the glutes in the back, you should never shift your glutes back out and big old butt towards the audience. To me, and some people shifting back and forth with this. I don't understand.
Urs is pressing his glutes out a little bit, and Chris and me were squeezing it. And now it's getting more and more people doing that, just to show more adductors and more like volume in legs.
But
and like
the adductors is not a beautiful muscle, though, is it? It's not a classic muscle. It's like to me, it's like a meathead muscle. Like I don't understand spending so much time trying to grow this muscle. It don't make an aesthetically pleasing physique.
And if you look at side chest, this is Chris, in my opinion, this is Chris Bumstead's best pose, side chest. And what Chris Bumstead does on the side chest is quite simple, but it works perfect for him. He just opens up a little bit more the clavicles. So it gives them a little bit more width on top, which you see, if you look at his elbows are not strictly lined up with his glutes. They're pushed a little bit further back, and that expands his clavicles on top, which is something that maybe you and Neil might want to look at. And Ramon definitely should do that because Ramon is a bit narrow on top. So Chris pushes his elbow a little bit further, and he makes his upper body wider. That's a really good pose for Chris. And Chris has not lost this pose in a long time. Now, let's go to the back double biceps. And you can just tell Chris is not comfortable with the fact that Summerfeld is in the center. I've judged Chris since he won for the first time. He's not comfortable. Same thing happened to Phil Heath. Every time somebody else was in the center, you can tell. So right here, I think Urs is making a mistake here. He's trying to emphasize his quads to the right. I don't think. I'm looking at right this. The striations on the glutes are quite impressive. What do you think, Chris? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. You can see that. It's a difference there.
A little bit out. I like his hamstrings and that the adductors, they come together, so it looks like polar, wider a little bit, but he doesn't squeeze his glutes, unfortunately. And it's hard to do that at the same time.
Yeah. But I would personally recommend that you continue to squeeze the glutes. It is one of the trademarks of great conditioning, and we can still see the great legs. Let's see abdominals and thighs.
See, I like Mike's abs here the best.
This is beautiful. Look, you've got the deep obliques and then the perfect set of abs. Now, Chris moves on to a great vacuum, right? And right here, he not only emphasized his vacuum, but also his quads. You can see Mike Summerfeld's deep obliques. Look at the leg separation down here. Now you're looking at Urs here. Look how conditioned he is as well on the abdominal section. I commend these guys, Chris. They bring it. It's been like, I cannot remember one Mr. Olympia where the Classic Physique guys didn't bring amazing conditioning.
But Tarek, in this pose here, as a judge, You see Chris Bumstead in the vacuum, full on vacuum. You see the other two locked down in the classic ab and thigh. As a judge, I'm not talking about the judge of the show. I'm talking about you personally. Don't you think that's one kid is doing a different thing from the other guys? And how can we really
Well,
judge?
well, so if you look at the pose initially, so right here.
But you
So
only see it for a
this
second out
is
of Chris.
this is Chris Bumstead's abdominals and thighs, right? This is his abdominals and thighs. And now Mike Summerfeld has not hit his yet, and Urs is possibly hitting. I think he's just squeezing the air right now. So I have to, my eyes always go to the guy that hits the pose first. And that's an advantage to hit the pose first. So whoever hits the pose first is going to get the first look from the judges. So as Chris Bumstead hits the pose, my eyes are going to be at him first. So I'm looking at this. Does he have deep obliques? Yes, he does. Let's take a look at the six-pack right here. It's good. It's good. Let's go back a little bit. Did I go back too much? Oh, sorry. We can even go back here once he's in the center. We're going to do the abdominals and thighs. Sorry, guys, I'm not a master of this. So they hit the back double biceps. Look, right here, Urs is squeezing his glutes, which was better. So we did see this striated. I would go back to that. Then right here on the abdominals and thighs, Chris Bumstead hits the ab shot first. Deep obliques. I would like to see more separation on the abdominal. Let's see if we see that before he transitions. This is his best abdominals and thighs. This is what I'm comparing right here. Right here, the three of them are hitting the abdominals and thighs. And in this pose right here, I would say Chris Bumstead's legs looks good, but I would go with the abdominal of Mike Summerfeld. I do like Urs Kalaczynski on this pose as well. But I have to say on this pose right here, abdominals and thighs, I would say Mike Summerfeld's abdominals are superior. I do like Chris Bumstead's legs. But if I had to put who won this pose, I would go with Mike Summerfeld.
And he has the color to match the abs. And Urs was a little bit too light that last time.
Urs Kalaczynski tanning was, it was very bad. He should have been darker. Mike and Chris have good tanning. I would think Chris could have a little bit of darker tanning. But right here, and this is something that people need to understand, judges have a very, very small time, seconds, to make a very tough decision. So we are trained to look at the guy who hits the pose first. Okay? So we're trained. As soon as we sense one of them is going to hit the pose, our eyes go straight to that person. And then we go in a sequence, second and third. And then we have to compare and say who had the best abdominals and thighs. So right here, the judges are making a decision who they believe have the best abdominals and thighs. Now, right here, these variations are excellent. We can still see it, but it's already gone. You know, you have that small 2-3 second, and that's why we always say, as a competitor, you want to be the first one to hit the pose and the last one to get out of the pose. And right here on the classic physique pose, I would recommend just hit one classic physique pose. This was a mistake Ramon executed. He did too many. Right here, this is the classic physique pose of Mike Summerfeld, Urs Kalaczynski, and Chris Bumstead. Do not create many variations. You know, we're just judging one of your classic physique poses. In this case, they all, they picked. I would say maybe Urs needs to switch his physique a little bit more. And I want to address something. Sometimes people go, well, I'm in the center, I must be the winner. No, this could be potentially that we like one of them. We like maybe Chris Bumstead for the win, or we like Summerfeld for the win. And we're just getting him out of the center because we want to put second and third place to compare. So a lot of people, YouTubers, they go on YouTube and they go, well, he was in the center the whole time. You don't know if Chris Bumstead is the winner, and now I'm comparing Urs and Mike Summerfeld for second and third, and I just need to have them next to each other. So being in the center is not a testament to winning the show, okay? Where we position the competitors does not mean the final placing.
Also, Tarek, I was wondering, before we go too far, when you said, it should be the first one in the pose and the last one out of the pose, that's going to be, that's going to be that's going to be what you want to do as a competitor. But the real aspect and the real situation that happens in the human body, when you hit a pose, say it's front double bicep, if you hit it first, slowly but surely, and I learned this from Joe Weider in his office, slowly but surely that muscle is going to fill with blood more and more and more because you're contracting and you're sending blood to that area. The muscle's going to get a little bigger, the cuts are going to get a little deeper. And that's with every pose. So the guy's just trying to wait for the other guy to hit it so it can look cool. You're going to lose out on that particular aspect of posing.
Now,
go ahead.
Mike, how long have you been working with New Hill, and what's your overall experience with him?
2019, 31st of December, so New Year's Eve. I sent an email and he answered right away after midnight. Neil is a really special person. Me as a German, I like precision, I like straight words, I like being honest, even if I don't like things to hear. And Neil is exactly like that. He's not my cheerleader. He's the guy pointing his fingers on my weaknesses every day. And he puts his fingers as deep as you can imagine into my weaknesses. But at the same time, as hard as he is the loveliest person I've ever met. My wife, she calls him stepdad. And he's literally my second dad. We have such an incredible relationship. We spent Christmas together this year again. So we're going to Vegas just to meet Neil. We're going to have New Year's Eve with Neil probably. And we are truly something like family. And I have Neil and me, we don't have a regular coach-client relationship. That's something special. So most of the time when we're talking about life, love, relationships. Of course, he's taking care of all the bodybuilding aspects. That's his job, right? And we're really pushing it. So we're really precise in doing it. But at the same time, he's one of my best friends. I can say that, yeah. He's an amazing coach and even a better person.
Yeah, I like New Hill very much. I've been to Romania with him. I've met him all over the world. He's one of the best. And you're right. He's very precise. He's very thorough. Talk to me about German bodybuilding. Who has influenced you? Markus Rühl? Who has been the force in Germany that has influenced you to start your career, or has it been somebody else?
Well, I'm training since I'm 11 years old. So this year is my 20-year anniversary in bodybuilding, officially. And my dad, he competed before. So when I was a baby, he competed. And he competed with Dennis James on stage like 25 years ago. And I still have the photos on the laptop right here. Super funny pictures. So I was able to see him working out hard, putting in the work, being kind of relentless and dedicated in you know, all the masculine things you want to see as a child, as a boy. Your dad is like, he's pushing it and he's doing his things and he's achieving great things. And I was like, that inspired me pretty much. And I told him, like, one day I'm going to beat you. One day I'm going to be better than you. And now we have the chance, or I have the chance to experience every day in bodybuilding, every show, every Olympia with my dad. So he travels with me. And he is the guy who did my tan since I'm 16. My first show I competed, he did my tan. And still today, he is doing my tan before the show.
He did
Obviously,
the 10 before the Olympia?
yes, sir.
Oh, shit. Your dad needs to do the 10 for Urs.
Of course, Pro 10, they do the touch up before we go on stage. And I love these girls. Barb, we have, I always forget her name. What's her name? The blonde?
Well, we have Carla, we have Alyssa, Carla.
Kelly, Barb. I love them. They're so nice, nice people. So they always help me for the touch ups and the oil and all that stuff. But my dad, he's religiously, like traditionally doing my tan the night before the show.
Very nice, very nice. Chris, it's time to lose some followers, create some hostility in our lives. I want you to give me the top 3 at the Classic Physique Mr. Olympia.
Man,
Do not back down.
no, I'm backing down.
Who is placing 3rd, 2nd, 1st?
I'm actually got a couple of guys in the show, and it makes it a little weird for me to place people like that.
Okay, so
There's Branch Chen, there's Breon Ansley. They all going against the same situation. So let's say you should do it, or he should do it.
I'll be judging the show.
Actually, Mike is
Mike,
better at this. Mike
if
is
you
better
had-
at this than any of us.
If you had to say your top 3 at the 2025 Mr. Olympia Classic Physique, who would that be?
Chris, you're a bad guy. You know that? Chris literally just said, you know, I have athletes competing in a division. It's kind of weird. I'm the guy staying in the division, literally, and now I have to do that, right?
Well, listen, we all have to assume that you believe you're going to win, right? There's no doubt about that. If we're going to do a live with Terrence Ruffin, he would be the first one to say, I think I'm winning. Granted, you think you're winning this show, and nobody would disagree with you because you won the Arnold Classic convincingly. You're runner-up, so I don't think you would be arrogant. I don't think you would be any far-fetched for you to pick yourself as the winner, right, Chris? I mean,
Right, you would probably get some bad looks backstage when you go, but for right now, you're pretty good to say you're gonna win the show, and then these guys gonna be probably 2nd or 3rd.
If I would say, I think I'm going to win the show, I would lie straight to your face. And that's not what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to win the show. I don't believe I will win the show because nobody knows. Steve, Tyler, the great judges will decide that. But before, we have to put in the work, and I will work. Believe me, that's what I do the best. So if I count myself out, I'm not competing in Classic. It's going to be Ramon, Ruff, Josema.
Ramon,
Because I appreciate his incredible hard work. Being that peeled is no fun. He can't walk because all his body fat under his feet are gone. His eyes are burning because the tiny fat layer on his eyes is gone. Like, it's not that he feels weak. He is in pain. And I know what I'm talking about. I know that you can't walk barefoot anymore. It's not possible. You walk on bones.
wow. Well, Mike Summerfeld said if I wasn't competing in the Classic, I would put my money on Ramon, Terrence, and Josema. Those are 3 great competitors. Mike Summerfeld is truly an amazing bodybuilder, Classic Physique. And Mike, I got to tell you, I'm sure your dad is so proud of you. And your wife, we got to see you and your wife hugging after the show. It was a very special moment. You're very connected to your wife. If you win this show, and I know you are German technology, you don't believe you're going to win the show, but how much of your prize money are you going to give to your wife?
Well, to be honest, I don't have a pocket. I don't have a bank account. My wife has all my money.
That's okay. Yeah, well, welcome to the team. Chris, you're undefeated on that, huh? Well, I have to say, guys, it's one of the most amazing things. When you see a competitor that has placed 5th, 8th, he's been a really good competitor, Mike Summerfeld. But when he came in at the 2024 Mr. Olympia, he shocked us. What he brought to the stage was truly spectacular, and there wasn't a single judge that didn't believe he was fighting for the title. If you are a competitor that placed 12th, that placed 13th, that placed 8th in the previous year, you can do the same as Mike Summerfeld. You can bring something different to the stage. You can shock the judges and be right there between Ramon and Chris Bumstead fighting for the title. Mike, I commend you. I'm a huge fan of yours. I think you're truly one of the greatest classic physique competitors we've seen since the inception of the category. You have lots of fans. Most of them are in Germany. A lot of the Brazilian fans, they send me messages right now, Chris, the Brazilian fans going, I guess if you're doing a live with Mike Summerfeld before Ramon, I guess you think he's better than Ramon. We're going to beat your ass when you go to Brazil. I'm like, dude, I just got to do a live with a competitor that took second place.
I love the Brazilian fans. I got to tell you, Tarek, Brazilian bodybuilding fans, they are freaking hooligans. I love that. All my posts on Instagram, they are spammed with hundreds of dinos and dinos. And it's not, I'm not taking it personally. I'm taking it like, holy, they are really passionate about bodybuilding. I like that. I read every comment and I comment every comment personally. I'm sitting on my phone doing that. I love to see each and every comment. That's such a great job. I wish my company would do that.
Well, so I was talking to Steve Weinberger in Japan. We're at the Masters Olympia. We're talking about the following that Ramon has. So it's quite interesting. If you look at Rafael Brandão and Franciele Matos, they're fantastic competitors, right? Incredible competitors. Isa Pereira, she's won the wellness. Franciele Matos, Angelica Teixeira. Rafael Brandão is an amazing bodybuilder. Even in men's physique, they have awesome competitors. Ramon comes from a place in Brazil where it's past the Amazon jungle. It's a very remote place. And Ramon grew up very, very poor. And most of Brazilians do not have a lot of possessions. So a lot of the Brazilians relate with Ramon as a hope, a sign of hope that they can one day be like Ramon. Now, with that being said, soccer in Brazil, football, has declined tremendously. So a lot of the eyes that were in football, Brazil winning the World Cup, they have declined. So a lot of the young generation never had a chance to watch Ronaldo, Rivaldo, for that matter, Romario. They have not seen Brazil win the World Cup. So a lot of these fans have transitioned from football to bodybuilding, and now they relate with Ramon because he grew up very poor. And he mentions, he did not have a gym. Well, Ramon never had a gym growing up. The reason his forearms are so big and his arms is because all he had in the beginning of his career was bars. But German bodybuilding has tremendous history. I was a huge fan of Marcos Rule, and now to see you and to see Urs Kalaczynski is special. Chris, do you remember other German bodybuilders that made an impact?
Günther Schlecker.
Gunther, yeah. Andrea
yeah.
Munzer.
Ronnie Rocco.
Ronnie Rocco. Yeah. Was Joseph Wilco? Was it Wilkos? Was it with the beard? Was he?
Yusuf Coach.
Yeah.
Yusuf.
Okay.
That's my dad's era.
Yeah.
No, German bodybuilding has tremendous history. Mike, we want to thank you for spending some time with us. Send a message to all your fans that love you.
First of all, thank you so much for every minute and second you watched and you heard what I'm saying. I hope you got a little bit more of my personality and who I am. And last thing I want to say is that I really, really, really appreciate your work, to be honest. Like sitting here, spending the time with me to give me the chance to talk to different people, different countries, different communities. That's an amazing job. So that's all I want to say. And the best guy will win at the Olympia. If it's me, if it's Ramon, if it's Ruff, the best will win. And if somebody is able to beat me, if someone is working harder than me, then he really deserves to be Mr. Olympia.
Mike Summerfeld, Mike the Badass on Instagram. I want you to go follow this guy. What he did in 2024 was a historical act. He put Chris Bumstead in a position that Chris had never been before in terms of almost losing his title. I want to thank the superstar Mike Summerfeld, and I want to thank my co-host from Primetime Muscle, Olympia TV, the 1993 Mr. USA's four-time Ironman champion, one of the greatest bodybuilders of all times, Chris Cormier. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And
nice to see you, Mike.
See you, bro. Let me know when you.
All the fans of Olympia TV, we're going to be doing all the Classic Physique guys. Next, we're going to bring Ramon, then Terrence Ruffin, then Breon Ansley. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen.